Hey traders, Créde here, and welcome to your Trading Psychology Caffeine Hit. Today we're talking about how to build your belief in your ability to become a successful, consistently profitable trader. And this is with thanks to G on Twitter, who suggested this topic or requested it, and thanks to everyone else who requested topics as well. I'll absolutely be delighted to cover all of them. I'm starting with this topic, confidence and self-belief, because it's so applicable to so many traders. Before we jump into it, I just want to mention two things. The first is that on my videos, there seems to be someone commenting as if they're me, giving a WhatsApp number and I think selling crypto courses or something like that. So just please be aware, I will never ask for money in DMs, messages. I am never going to be selling courses on the technical aspects of trading or crypto. So if somebody who is pretending to be me contacts you, please be wary of that and report them. The second thing then is just to say again that if anyone is interested in diving deeper into this topic of trading psychology, mental edge, I have a free training and I'm going to leave a link to that. So I'm going to pin a comment with a link to that in the comments below, and you can just click on that and get instant access to a free training that will cover some of these topics in more depth. So with that said, let's jump in. Before we actually get into the practical tips about how to increase your confidence, I want to make sure that we're all on the same page as to what confidence is, what we're actually talking about. So there are two separate concepts here. And the first one is your core sense of self-worth. So basically your self-esteem, how you feel about yourself as a person. That is, I'm going to call it for here, self-belief. But we're actually going to talk about building your confidence specifically in this task, in your ability to become a successful and consistently profitable trader. So that's exactly what we're speaking about here. Your self-esteem and self-worth is super important for trading. It's very relevant, but I'm going to cover that in a different video. So here we're just talking about how can you actually fully believe that you're going to get to your end goals? How do you increase that sense of belief so that you can sustain the motivation and the resilience that you need on this journey, which can be quite a difficult one. There are a lot of ups and downs on the journey to becoming a consistently profitable trader. And it's the people who can weather that storm and continue problem solving and continue plodding on and putting in the work that will eventually hit their targets. So I want to make sure that you leave this video today with some practical tools and techniques that you can actually implement right away in order to increase your self-confidence in your ability to be successful. And it's also worth noting that confidence is something that fluctuates. So don't feel that, you always need to have 100% confidence in order for you to reach your goals. It's natural that it will fluctuate. And of course, if you have a few losses in a row or a few red days, it will knock your confidence a little bit. But the important thing is to understand what you can do when that happens and how you can build it back up. So think of confidence like a muscle. You can actually train your self-confidence the way that you would train your muscles in the gym. And you'll be able to do that with the techniques that I mentioned now. So I'm going to cover three kind of core areas or core ways that you can increase your confidence. I'm going to start off with the most simple, straightforward step that you can implement in your trading tomorrow that will make a difference. And this could be something that you're already doing, but you can just do it in a slightly more efficient, effective way. And that is effective goal setting, because one of the things that builds your confidence is seeing results. And that seems really obvious. You're probably sitting there watching this thinking, yeah, of course, Créde, if I have 3 green days in a row, I'm feeling more confident. But I want to take it away from the P&L and more into the execution of your trading plan. So if you can set goals, and I talk about this all the time, according to different concepts and different lenses of trading psychology, but we're talking about it through the lens of confidence today. If you can set goals that allow you to see progress every single day, so small incremental progress every day, and you set them around things that are 100% in your control, then you can't but increase your confidence. So let me give you a concrete example here. If you set a P&L goal and you said, I want to make X amount of money every day from trading, you're setting yourself up to fail there because you're really pulling your focus to the outcome, to the P&L, and that's going to heap the pressure on you. So instead, if you can start each trading day with some goals that focus on the execution of your trading plan, and these could even be like a goal not to go over your daily loss limit. It could be a goal to only take your A+ setups. So something that is absolutely completely within your control and doesn't even depend on market conditions. If you start tracking those metrics day in, day out, out and you track your progress over time with those, you will absolutely be giving yourself an opportunity to see success every day. And so you don't have to see massive success every day, but if you imagine that you make small progress and you consistently hit these goals every single day for weeks on end, because they're completely within your control, that will build your confidence. So you'll be seeing success, you'll be experiencing this sense of mastery, and it will take you away from focusing on, you know, sort of defining success by the P&L and by your longer term financial goals from trading. Because of course it's going to become a bit demotivating if you're looking at the goal that you want to make at the end of the year in terms of your trading profits, and then you're sitting here today and you're just seeing this big gap between where you want to be and where you are now. So the way that you bridge that gap is by focusing on the process, setting these goals that are completely within your control, tracking them every single day, and then making sure that you actually go and review your progress. So don't just do it and forget about what you did last week and the week before. You know, maybe at the end of each week, actually review the past 3 months of these goals and you'll see your progress. So this is something that athletes do as well, and other high performance domains, the same principle applies. So this is the first thing that I would say, if you're not doing this already, absolutely, this is the first tip to start implementing, and you will see a difference. The second tip that I'm going to talk about might be something that you're currently doing again, but I'm going to put a different spin on it. So if you find that you're a trader who compares yourself to other traders, who notices how well other traders are doing, and then you measure yourself against that and you feel like you come up short, and then you use that as reinforcement that you're not hitting your goals, and that decimates your confidence. If that's happening for you, you can capitalize on this idea of looking to other traders, but you can flip it so that it becomes something that enhances your confidence. And the way that you do that is you actually find traders who are so similar to you in terms of characteristics. So they're trading the same instruments, they're trading for the same amount of time, their trading account size is roughly the same. So if you're able to have this knowledge about other traders, brilliant. Like if you can think of even one trader who's in that position, who has all of or very similar characteristics to you, and they are extremely successful in hitting your goals, flip that the other way so that you use that as evidence or proof that it's possible. If that person can do it, you can do it too. And again, I'm actually drawing on science here. So this comes from Bandura, really well-renowned psychologist, who talked about vicarious experience. So basically the idea that if you look around for peers who are similar to you in characteristics and they're doing something that you would like to be doing, you can use that as inspiration and proof that it's possible for you too. So flip your interpretation. If you're somebody that looks at other traders' success and currently that's making you feel bad, it means that you're approaching that with a fixed mindset. And I'll talk about fixed and growth mindset in another video. But basically, you can do that same action. You can look at other traders, but flip your interpretation of it and use their success as proof or evidence that this pathway is available for you too, that you absolutely can make this happen for yourself too. And one, it will stop you from comparing yourself and that being an action that makes you feel bad. And two, it will actually prove to you that this is more within your reach than maybe you're currently imagining. And a great example from sport for this phenomenon is when Roger Bannister ran the 4 minute or under the 4 minute mile. So it hadn't been done before. Nobody thought it was possible. And as soon as he did it, I think it was only, the record was held for 40 days or something. And then other runners started doing it too, because suddenly it was possible. And a peer of theirs had broken that record. And now it seemed humanly possible to do it. So it sparked off a ton of people breaking the same record. So try and think about trading like that. If you're comparing yourself to other people, at least use that action as motivational fuel and as proof that you can do it too. The last piece I'm going to talk about is mental training. So this is pure, trading psychology that we're talking about now, and actually techniques to train your mind. And they're so powerful. But a couple of different techniques that I would recommend are, one, using visual imagery, so mental imagery. So actually imagining the scene of you being a successful, consistently profitable trader. Take some time each week, do this a couple of times a week, and actually close your eyes and imagine yourself sitting at your computer screen and trading exactly as you would like to be trading, making the money that you would like to be making, doing everything as if you have already become the trader that you want to be. In this image, almost like a movie in your mind, you are going to be playing the movie of you as a successful trader. And the research and all the science shows that if you do this, it increases the likelihood of you actually hitting your goals. So it also increases your confidence, your motivation. It makes you persist longer in the face of struggles, and it helps you to invest more effort in actually reaching those goals. So this works for athletes, it works for pilots, it works for people recovering from injury, it will work for your trading too. It's such a powerful technique. And just to mention, the reason why this works so effectively is because your brain doesn't actually tell the difference between reality and what's going on in your mind. So when you're imagining this scene, you're firing the same neural pathways as if you were actually living the experience. And so the more that you do this, the more you're laying down this foundation of this neural pathway that is, you going through the motions of being a successful trader. And the more your brain accepts it, the more that it's going to become, or the more likely it is to actually become your reality. So that's obviously a very top level explanation of the brain there, but that's basically what's behind it. It's the same neural pathways fire, whether it's in your imagination or whether it's actually happening. And then the other mental training technique that I want to talk about is affirmations. So this is where people write statements in the present tense that describe exactly how they would like to be thinking, how they would like to be trading. So basically creating their perfect reality. And while in mental imagery, you're doing that like a video in your mind, with affirmations, you're actually writing a script of these statements. So I have a free affirmation script. I'll actually link it with this video and I'll post it in the comments below. So you can get a sense of what a full affirmation script would be like. So basically you write these statements and then you record yourself reading them out, and then you listen to it as a mental training technique. So you're programming your mind for positive outcomes. So an example of an affirmation statement might be, I wait like a tiger stalking my prey for my A+ setup to appear. And that's a really good affirmation to use if you're somebody that tends to jump into trades too quickly. If you're impatient and you just find yourself over trading, that would be a great affirmation statement to use. But when you combine all of these together into one full script, then you're actually able to target all of the different outcomes that you'd like to program. And it becomes a really powerful tool for training your mind. So pulling this all together, it's just to say that, yes, you absolutely have control over building your self-belief and your confidence. And you can approach it from two different ways. So one is the very practical goal setting, holding yourself accountable and creating opportunities for you to experience success in a small way, but a small, consistent way every single day. And then the other side of it is actually getting right deep into your brain and your mindset and training that using mental training techniques like mental imagery and affirmations. And also looking for evidence that other people who are very similar to you are doing it too. And if you can do all of that and still remember that it's normal for your confidence to fluctuate up and down, and that's perfectly fine, as long as you take action when it does dip, and you can bring it up by doing any of these techniques. So I hope that's been helpful, and I look forward to seeing you next time.